Today's sponsor is Audible. Please visit audiblepodcast.com/baldmove for a free audiobook download.
I asked my grandfather once, did you ever have to kill Germans in the war? And he said, that's an adult subject. Then I asked him if Germans had ever tried to kill him. And he looked away and he tried to change the topic. But then I asked him, Grandpa, why do you live in Argentina and speak with a thick German accent? And he said, why are you asking all of these questions? And then he goose-stepped right out the room. I guess what I'm trying to get at is this here, how we're living right now in this world, we are the walking dead.
Now, we ain't them.
We ain't them?
We ain't them.
I know, man. I'm not saying like we're walkers. It's a metaphor.
We ain't them.
Look, it's like when you say you're as angry as a rabid possum with a furry tail.
Them fuckers mean. You don't know. They mean as hell.
I'm saying we're the walking dead in a literary sense.
We ain't them.
Are you gonna cry?
Maybe.
Are you burning yourself with that cigarette?
No.
What the fuck, Daryl?
I'm the emotional ashtray of this group. Only good for extinguishing life's pain.
There you go. It's like I was saying about us being dead.
Hey, we ain't them.
God damn it.
Welcome to The Watching Dead, the officially unofficial podcast for The Walking Dead on AMC. I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron.
And today we're discussing Season 5, Episode 10, entitled Them. This is another slow one. Right off the back of last week's kind of slow one, but eventful one. This week it is a slow and non-eventful episode.
Yes. So part of it is that the episode is just slow and, not good. But also, I think and Nathan P. said the same thing. He said, I would argue you guys overhyped me for what was going to happen on this week's episode. You discussing how the episode may be the show's interpretation of Stephen King's The Long Walk with added zombies and hunting dogs just had his expectations sky high.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the same thing, like, oh, that would be a really cool idea. Like, they're hounded all the way to D.C. by this herd of zombies. Maybe not a full-blown herd, but something too big for you to stop and deal with.
Sure.
Especially, and you couldn't gather water, you couldn't gather supplies. It'd be, and what we got, we're thinking they teased the wolves, and we thought there were going to be packs of feral dogs or wolves, and there
was, but not really.
But it was dealt with within seconds. Just, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for putting grand ideas in your head that this show might actually deliver on some level other than it has been, but that's what I really wanted. I'm with you. I really wanted that.
A lot of this episode was devoted to what I would argue as damage control over the Maggie situation.
Yeah,
that is just too far gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like they really just need to move on and let us put some metaphorical distance between that plot and this before we can start kind of caring about Maggie and Glenn.
I feel like this would have been an okay place for them to kind of stop and deal with those issues, because a lot of people are dealing with those issues right now. I mean,
Sure.
Sasha, Maggie, Daryl, all of them, except the Maggie thing was complete bullshit because she never cared before, and they tried to hand wave it away. And it was just like all around too slow. I don't know. I've been having a problem with the pacing of shows lately, but I feel like it's warranted. I don't think it's just me wanting things to move faster.
The Walking Dead especially, I don't think is the kind of show, the way it's constructed. Like it could have been this kind of show, but it's not the kind of show that it seems it pays well when things slow down, and we're going on 2 slow episodes in a row. But The Walking Dead, as it does so well, just when I'm like, oh God, I'm not even sure I'm looking forward to next week. Last 30 seconds, they put in some intriguing possibilities and questions, and like, God damn it, now I'm gonna have to see what happens.
That guy Aaron showing up.
Yeah, the double Aaron. You got to watch out for them.
You should.
I want to talk about the construction of this episode. Who's responsible? Who is responsible for this? And then we've got a couple of words to say.
Okay.
About Bald Move. Is directed by Julius Ramsey, who, there's a lot of like Walking Dead rookies. They don't have a lot of experience. This guy has got a ton of experience as an editor. 21 episodes of Walking Dead, Battlestar Galactica, Alias. That's some of the highbrow stuff. He's also done The Bachelorette and American Idol, and Fear Factor. But he's got a lot of experience on this. He's only had 2 directorial outings. The episode from last season, Still, which was kind of Daryl and Beth's coming out party.
It's pretty slow,
but
too.
You and I liked.
I liked a lot, yeah.
A lot of the internet did not like that. And then he's got this. Heather Belson has only got 3 writing credits: Walking Dead, Black Sails, and Unforgettable. I was never aware of Unforgettable to have the opportunity to forget it. Black Sails, of course, is the pirate quasi-fictional thing, series on the History Channel, I think. And then, got The Walking Dead. She wrote them and Self-Help, which we kind of were fans of. So, and I think this episode was really well shot. There's some gorgeous scenes and some really nice shot composition. It just is in the service of nothing going on. I think Sepinwall said it best. There's like 5 to 6 minutes of character development and plot that's stretched over 45 minutes of television, and it's just too much.
Sure.
Before we get into the recap, let's talk about the future of Bald Move, shall we?
Okay, sounds good.
We're making some changes to the direct listener support scheme. And there's a lot of reasons why we're doing this. Jim and I, over the holidays and early January, we had a bunch of think sessions where we're like, what's the future of Bald Move looking like? And we started thinking of new types of content we could do, new types of premium type of stuff, new different experiences that we could bring the listeners more into the studio and kind of flex our creativity a little bit. And we started thinking like, what tiers should that be and what price? And we started getting depressed because like you can rapidly come up into a situation where you're doing stuff that's really cool and you're really proud of, and like 20 people are watching it. Yeah. And that's no fun because, our goal is to give this stuff to as many people as we can because we think it's cool and we like doing it. And we're at odds of our other goal, which is to put food on our table.
Sure.
So, we did some surveys and people said, hey, we love what you're doing. Across the board, everybody's super satisfied. But there's a couple things we kept coming across is, some people just aren't going to support podcasts. And then there's other people that want to, but at the $5 price point where they could get the live watches and all that stuff is just too expensive. So we're like, what if we charged $1 a month and you got everything?
That's insane.
There's no tiers. They're like, Johnson & Johnson baby tiers. There's no tiers as far as support levels. There's just no tiers all around. Everybody that wants it can get the stuff and we can get paid. And we kind of like were joking about the $1 a month. And then we started thinking about it seriously.
Sounds crazy. There's no way we can do that, right?
Well, it turns out the credit card fees would eat us alive at $1 a month.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But what we did do is you can get all the content for $2 a month, or you can still get the $1 a month if you buy it a year at a time. You get the 1 year subscription. It's $12, and that's $1 a month if my algebra, if my trigonometry checks out. So you can still get that. It's a fantastic deal. And what we're talking about is you get ad-free feeds. You get access to all of our live content where we're actually recording a podcast. We're doing live watches, which if you're not paying attention to anything, pay attention to this. We're going to do a public demonstration of this technology this weekend. So
for the Walking Dead.
At 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, we're going to start a stream where it's me and Jim watching television. We've got kind of an innovative way to show just enough of the video that you can kind of get synchronized with us, and you can, you know, either pause your DVR or pause the stream so you can watch it in real time with us, but not enough that we'll get sued by AMC. You know, you can't really watch the episode that way, but you can certainly have it as a second screen experience. Sure,
and all of the stuff that we're talking about is going to be under one banner, which is Club Bald Move.
Yep.
You'll just be able, as of right now, you can go to the website. You
baldmove.com.
You can, go to, there's a big button right in the middle of the homepage now.
Yep.
It says join the club. You can go sign up for that and get access to everything that we currently have in the feature set and a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up in the future. We want to add a whole bunch of ad-free website stuff and just a whole bunch of other stuff that we think is fun and good for the listener.
Yeah, we're going to start doing skits again. You do video skits. There's a whole bunch of stuff we've got and more to come.
Yeah, none of that's going to cost you extra. So you pay for your $1 or $2 a month right now. You get all that stuff. We're just going to start adding it to the list.
And now, you know, this price point is contingent on us getting a reasonably high, like we're not setting lofty goals, but somewhere between, we'd like for 3 to 5% of the audience to pitch in this way. And it's also,
it's super important. I mean, if it doesn't happen,
we're going to have to do something else.
You
know, because the old way was working. It just, we didn't want to be doing this for an ever more exclusive set of our fans. We want to be doing it for, you know, price this out to anybody who wants it can get it. And also it's pay what you want too. So if you think the content is worth $3 a month or $5 a month or whatever, feel free to pay that. But we also want anyone that can reasonably get it to get it. There's a lot of other nice things. Like now it's like as soon as you sign up, you get access to the VIP section of the forums, which are going to be going down for maintenance tonight. So we can switch over to the new system. And there's a lot you can unlock immediately. You can just go play the podcast off our website ad-free. You can get access to the ad-free feed. A lot of stuff just happens automatically. We don't have to do it manual anymore.
Yep.
So sorry to take some minutes to talk about this, but you know, there's been a long time coming. We've got some inside information too about the fate of some of these crowdsourced funding sites that we were kind of uneasy about, and we're trying to get ahead of this. You know, this is all about trying to put as much of Bald Move's future in our hands. Like, you know, something that Bezos, copper mad warlord that he is, can't take from us. Something that, you know, Patreon and Subbable can't go under and jeopardize. This is something that we control, and we really appreciate everybody that helps us out in.
Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, something that the audience controls. You know, I mean, you guys are going to be the ones determining whether or not this works for us. I mean, you said earlier, like, what we were doing is working, but not really. I mean, it was starting to work.
But it's slow.
But it's very, very slow. And like you said, it's not something that we have much control over. So as an audience, if you guys are able to step up and show us some support, we want to give a lot of stuff back to you. And if you look at our Subbable or our Patreon tiers, this is a lot cheaper than many of those tiers. So the people who were at $5, who were at $10 can get all of the stuff they got before for a much cheaper price. We think that's good for everybody.
Yes.
Us included.
Yes. I mean, we're thinking that this is such an attractive deal, and there'll be so much cool stuff that you guys will want to get, that this will make everybody's while worth it.
I hope so.
If not, we'll try something else. We're out here scrapping, guys.
Sure. Aaron's got the hobo beard. We could start begging on the streets, panhandling.
Busking. Got $1? That's essentially what we're doing. Have you seen last week's episode of Portlandia? We are sitting on the sidewalk, we're banging drums and saying, got $1? So if you got $1, go to Club Bald Move. Go to baldmove.com. It's like all over. Like, so many different ways to get to the button that lets you join up. Let's move on, man.
Yeah, please. Are we ready for the recap?
We are ready for the recap.
Okay, cool. We start off with Maggie crying about Beth, about Tyrese, about the world. I don't know what she's crying about because she wasn't crying about it last season. Some walker comes shambling up behind her. She doesn't really care much, and then she turns around and finally, okay, fine, I'll kill it. And she does, and then she goes right back to crying.
I like the fact that we're seeing a fresh-faced Maggie Green. I remember I've been, going back to to watch season 2 a lot to work on the second installment of Survival Guide, and I was shocked at how girl next door Maggie was like, and as a corollary, how like weirdly salon quality makeup and hair and nails she's had of recent seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, her clothes are filthy, but she's clearly more made up, and I kind of like the more realistic look of everyone in this episode.
Every time I've seen Lauren Cohan, it always looks like she's wearing a little too much makeup, like in real life or on interviews or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It always looks like they have a tendency to make her up more than she needs to be.
I don't know about that,
and I wonder if that tendency kind of bled into the show a little bit. But that's what I've noticed.
I do like the more gritty, realistic tomboy look for her. At any rate,
but she's a big movie star now. You can't. She's a big
True.
TV and film star. She
True.
can't be walking around with no makeup, no hair.
I noticed that the way she's wearing her rings. I can't remember if her and Glenn are actually married at this point.
They probably did some backyard prison marriage.
I feel like that would be a much bigger memory, but one hint is that she's wearing her engagement ring first on her finger and then the wedding ring, which I think if you're married, it's supposed to be the opposite.
Oh, is she double ringing it?
Yeah,
I
she's
didn't
got
even
the
notice.
wedding and the engagement ring, but
Okay.
I thought tradition says that the wedding ring's closest to your heart. So it's the first one on your finger, then the engagement ring. She's got the reverse. I
Okay.
don't know if there's anything there.
Yeah, she reversed him. Glenn took a little too long finding her. She reversed him, and she just hasn't got around
That's
to...
how he knows where he's standing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an engagement ring first kind of day, is it? All right. Drink some fucking water.
I'll give her space today, I guess. Daryl digs up some worms.
Yep.
And he eats them. And it's very obvious at this point that they're getting desperate for food, right?
Is that what we're doing on Lunch with Jim and Aaron this week?
Worms, yeah.
Eating live earthworms?
Yep, that's for sure.
We did bugs last week. This week it's worms. It's turning in, like ones I said. This is slowly turning into Fear Factor.
Sure, we've got other things, other insects ready to eat lined up.
Never happening.
Yeah, but Daryl's doing it. And then Sasha is looking for food, and she finds some dead frogs, and she's like, "Nope, no food or water down here."
This is starting to become kind of like already. It took me a long time to figure out what they're doing, which is looking for water. When everything around here looks like it's super lush.
You're right. The sand that she kicks around in is mud.
It's damp. Like you could probably dig a foot down here and get water. Also frogs don't just do that.
Die with no water?
No, they have other ways of like they can go into hibernation. You don't normally see just a bunch of dead frogs lying around because they're too stupid to fucking find water.
Yeah, I felt like that was. There's a theme of kind of the entire planet just trying to kill these people.
Yeah.
Throughout this episode. And I felt like that was good. That caused a little bit of dread, but it was kind of undermined by, the just foliage everywhere.
Well, see, I made a joke.
Woods.
I made a joke about on the live watch about, God damn it, Moses, what here, it's like it's one of the 10 plagues, right?
Oh yeah, with the frogs.
And then Aaron shows up at the end. Which was Moses forerunner, spokesperson, sidekick. Yes, he's the
sidekick.
Old Testament sidekick. I wonder if this is another thing where they're going for something kind of arty and symbolic, and it just isn't landing.
Well, you were talking about Rick's beard as well.
Rick's beard also looks very mosaic.
Yeah.
Like
he's
I
trying
feel
to
like
lead
his
him.
beard aged 30 years since last episode. It's getting some gray in it, some grizzle. And I should know. I'm an expert at gray grizzled beards.
You're right. Maybe there is a theme. There's certainly a theme of Gabriel losing his religion, forsaking his God in this episode, and then being sorry about that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you're going to contrive a situation, I'd rather have a contrived situation of them trying to outpace the herd than they can't find water and they're too weak to fight and all that. I don't know. It didn't look like the place was out of water. I had multiple people write in to say like, no, this place in Virginia is like if of course they're still in Georgia. Number one, number two,
they aren't.
Huh?
They made it outside of
I
Richmond.
know, but they're physically filming.
Oh, gotcha. Yes,
in Georgia,
you are correct.
But where they're supposed to be, people from the area, like that's a watershed area. It's like tons of water all around. Like even the driest parts, it never gets that dry, and it just. it'd be like if they tried to say that this is Tatooine. It's like, but there's trees and there's grass. It looks like indoor. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So I don't want to belabor this throughout the whole episode.
Yes, so get it out up at front.
But I'm just saying that was a constant annoyance throughout the whole episode. They're supposedly desperate for water.
Yep.
But nothing looks like it.
Sure, I'm with you. Speaking of Sasha and these dead frogs, she's kicking around, and I noticed her boot style starting to look a lot like Michonne's. With kind of half unlaced, with the tops flopping around. Like, I don't know if that's to just stay cool. It certainly impedes their ankle support.
Sure,
I'll tell you that. The purpose of those boots,
right? Gives
a
nice, convenient flap for a walker to grab onto.
Yeah. We'll talk about Daryl's.
But when it starts downpouring
later.
water, it collects. It's a funnel effect.
Yeah.
So
you just take the boot off. And drink.
She's got a desperation water supply right there. No problem.
You thought it was bad in the instant cast when I said take off your shirts and wring them out into bottles. Take off your boots. Oh,
drink out of a boot.
Oof.
Wasn't that like someone just told me that was some kind of tradition that you drank out of a starlet's heel. It was in conjunction. I watched the Phantom of the Opera for the first time, and someone, it was my girlfriend. She said that I get people were drinking out of this woman's heels, and I was like, gross. She's like, yeah, that used to be like a showbiz tradition or like an opera house tradition. And I'm like, okay,
yuck. Before or after the show?
Is there an appropriate time to drink out of someone's shoe?
I think there's
an appropriate time just out the box.
Yeah,
I got some fresh kicks. They're
you slip them on, you take them off. I drink out of them. That's fine. Okay. I'm okay with that.
Or if they're the proverbial glass slipper, you can put those through some hot water.
Yeah.
I'd drink out of that.
Why not? All right, they're walking back to the van, and Maggie's questioning, how much longer they can survive.
It's been a day and a half without water.
Sasha. Yeah, day and a half, no food, no water. They have 60 miles to get to DC, so they've made it 40. We knew they were 100 out last time.
Yeah.
Seems like you're right. We were talking about this earlier. The first 500 miles, a breeze. The next 100 were the impossible part.
Yeah.
It's always the last 10% that's the hardest part of the journey.
Yeah, this group made it from Georgia to Richmond, Virginia. No bubbles, no troubles, not running out of water, no more than average difficulty, and so close, yet so very far away.
Indeed. The van runs out of gas, so they start walking down the road, and they notice, hey, we're being followed by walkers. And Daryl's like, should we take them out? Like, nah, we'll get them later.
Also, this is the first of the theme of people trying to get Daryl to deal with his grief. And we also have a clear-cut timeline. Rick says it's been 3 weeks since Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I know you lost something back there, which that's an open question. What exactly Daryl lost?
So he lost something with Beth. And I think, he started to open up to Beth a lot more than anybody else, even Carol, honestly.
Well, which is sets up a kind of nice scene between those two.
Yeah, it does. So I think maybe he lost kind of what he felt as a companion in this world a little bit. Whether that's, we speculated on whether that's a sexual thing, whether that's
romantic, or what that even means to a guy who was abused as a child. It could mean a lot of things. And the thing is, it certainly was a relationship, and there was a lot of potential future in one way or another. And it's certainly something I believe Daryl would mourn.
Yeah,
the loss of.
Mm-hmm. So Daryl goes off to find some water. After seeing the scene at the end, I totally don't believe he was going to find water. He was going to burn himself and cry. Carol follows him, though.
I'm gonna go crack the top off one of them frogs and drink it down.
Yeah, but Carol follows him, spoiling his plan. And then Carl walks up to Maggie and hands her a music box, which we will come into play later.
Carl making a move?
No, I don't think so. Like, Beth is gone. The closest one to my age now is Maggie. Gotta take a step up.
I think that, like you're 12, 13, 14 years old. Like, I believe there's that situation where, a 24-year-old woman, like, there's no possibility, but you still try to do like the little boy things to get their attention and flirt with them, and they are like, oh, that's so sweet, and that makes it feel good, and you're not really sure. I mean, I think there's something there, but it's not like serious. He's trying to
when Glenn walked up and hissed at him, I got the point. Yeah.
He jiggles the pocket watch. Still got the keys.
Yep.
Beat it, punk.
Yep. And then we see Gabriel fidgeting with his collar. And he's telling Maggie all about hair shirts, which she knows about.
I've seen the Da Vinci Code, okay? Know about your goddamn hair shirts and your chastity belts and whatever the fuck you're doing.
Yep. All
Sicko.
that kind of weird shit. She's not impressed with his religion at all, but he won't let it go, and so she brings up him not saving his congregation.
Boom. She rolls a natural 20 and hit for critical emotional damage. And the way she said it was so cold.
And then just walks off.
And I like that. I was kind of confused by the lack of water, but I like this early conflict because someone's needed to tell Gabriel that for a while now.
I'm surprised Gabriel hasn't learned his lesson. Like he does in this episode.
Well, they let him,
but then they bring him back in.
They let him preach over Tyrese's body, and he got a, clergy boner, and
Yeah, I feel like
it lasted over 4 hours, and someone needed to call the doctor, and Maggie was that someone.
So I'm definitely in Maggie's boat here. I am all about in the zombie apocalypse, religion has no place.
Sure.
Your God has already forsaken you.
Sure.
Look at the surrounding landscape. But this episode brings that back around with the miraculous shit that happens at the end, and we'll talk about that, I guess, when we get there.
Yeah.
It has me torn on what this show is trying to say. Which we talked about a little bit in the Instant Cast, but we'll probably talk more about here.
Yeah, and I'll talk a little bit more because I wasn't aware, but I guess there's kind of a definitive answer in the comic books as far as in Kirkman's mind, which we can talk about in the spoiler section. But I was the same way. I thought we were pretty, Nietzschean. I don't know how you pronounce that. In the God is Dead part of the Walking Dead universe, but apparently not. He's making a comeback.
I think so. More following by the walkers. They're being stalked by walkers.
Walker stalkers.
Obvious reference there. I wonder if they're actually making a reference to the convention. I don't know. Potentially. Sasha thinks...
Someone should have said that if they were going to do that, and I'm sure Eric and James would have flipped their shit, but if someone had said, those walkers are stalking us, that would have been pretty... Come on, would have killed you, Gimple?
Yeah.
Would have killed you?
Sasha thinks they can take the walkers, and Michonne agrees, but doesn't think it's the right time. They're almost out of gas here, and she tries to give a pep talk to Sasha with stuff about her brother being weak, I don't know, or being strong.
You're pissed. Your brother's pissed, but it made him stupid.
And you're starting to act the same way. Don't act that way.
I feel like it's Michonne's curse that she's going to be with these people when they do stupid stuff, because this was essentially the bridge was her green wall of ivy moment.
Oh my god, yeah.
Where
it was Bob going insane.
You mean Tyrese?
Was it Tyrese who did that?
Yeah, Tyrese is the green wall of walkers, where he was just being an unreasonable asshole that whole episode.
Yep, almost got eaten for it.
Yep, and almost got everyone else eaten too. And this was that writ large. And it's Sasha saying, "We're not the same. We never were. Give me 5 minutes. I'll show you we're exactly the same." And it's like, I got feedback from people where that worked. To me, it's dumb. It's dumb to spend so many episodes showing the clear differences between Tyrese and Sasha and how they roll, and then to show that they're also the same in an annoying way that threatens the entire group, and it makes the entire group deal with them in kind of a stilted manner. I just don't get it.
How about this as a devil's advocate position?
Do it.
Do you think
Satan
that they are showing Tyrese's attitude kind of infecting the rest of the group? Because I know we were talking.
But what is Tyrese's attitude? Is Tyrese's attitude this pissy, sulky, weirdly?
No, it's the same attitude that
self-destructive.
It's the same attitude that Bob had. Like the world doesn't have to change you. Last episode when Tyrese died, we saw the world does necessarily change you or you die. It either changes you into something that can survive in this world or something that shambles around in this world. I wonder if they're not trying to say, okay, his attitude toward the world is starting to infect the rest of the group, and that might get them killed as well. Like they need to harden up a little bit and kind of deal with the world on the world's terms.
Maybe. don't know.
If they're going for that, they undermine it at the end of the episode as well.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All right. No, to
weird.
me, it's like ultimately that stuff is all fine as long as it can also be entertaining. And I think for the vast majority of people, this was not an entertaining episode. So it doesn't really matter what they're trying to do. And that's the thing. Like, yeah, we do get that occasionally feedback where it's like, well, they're trying to do this or trying to do that. It's like, ultimately, you have to be entertained before you put up with any of that shit. Like,
I agree.
The reason,
especially in this show,
the reason that some of these shows, like Breaking Bad, The Leftovers, True Detective, etc., The Wire, this to the nth degree. The reason they're able to pull so much social commentary and symbolism and kind of reflective, slow, artsy things is because they are also relentlessly watchable. And this was not. Like the last two episodes, if I had my cell phone in front of me, I would have probably been fumbling. That's my barometer for how engaging something is. Am I tempted to pick up my cell phone and start browsing random stuff while I'm watching it and letting my attention wander?
Yeah.
2 episodes in a row, large stretches of the episode, I'm feeling that kind of antsy, palms itching.
I can understand why. These have both been very slow episodes. Where are we? Oh, now that they're alone, Carol tries to talk to Daryl out in the field about Beth dying. Daryl's not really into that emotional shit. So Carol gives him Beth's knife and tells him to unleash his grief. You need to have a nice, long, ugly cry, Daryl. Daryl doesn't give in there.
I'm just hoping that blade had like Doodlebug etched in like really awesome Gothic script, like badass. I like this scene because we know that Carol. I don't know how Daryl feels about Carol romantically.
Sure,
but I'm pretty damn sure that Carol has many times signaled that she wouldn't mind climbing Daryl like a tree. And if it goes further than that, who knows? But she's come on and been flirty with him on multiple occasions, and I thought it was pretty generous of her to acknowledge this kind of elephant in the room with Beth and his reaction to her, and be there for him on the friend level.
And pretty perceptive. Like
yes,
not very many of the other people in this group either A, understand what he's going through, or B, give a shit.
Yes. And she can
Maggie
relate to
might
him.
be the only other one here.
And she can relate to him on, what it's like to deal with the people that claim they love you, they're abusive, and she knows what it's like to, have these kind of complicated feelings of loss.
I got to give them credit. They set up these two kind of parallel storylines with Carol and Daryl both being abused in a way that was very not obvious at the start.
Sure.
Right? Like, it wasn't just like, oh, well, here's obviously two people who have been abused. They're going to connect.
Yes.
Obviously, this is going to be a thing. No, they very naturally and very organically through this series have set those relationships in motion, and the way that they've come together has been just really good.
No.
Really, really good.
And this scene works because of that shared history. If you're just watching this, like if you just came in not knowing, you're like, this scene, I don't get it. It's dumb. But I like the fact that it takes 5 seasons to get to a point where you can tell this subtle of a story.
Yeah.
And that's one of the problems The Walking Dead has is because it recycles so many of the cast, it's very, very hard to make those long-term connections with characters.
Sure.
And it's so easy to make a misstep and then turn your audience, like, many, many people don't give a shit about Glenn and Maggie, who could... there's only 6 episodes that Carol has on Maggie for people to give a shit, and people really like Maggie and Glenn, and I know a lot of people still do.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't care about them as much because of the stuff that's happened in the last 2 seasons.
Sure. I'm right there with you.
Like Pete, Glenn, and Maggie was probably their abduction by the governor, and it's kind of been downhill ever since.
Yep. Agreed. So the group ends up at a bridge, and they stop. They decide this is now a good time to dispatch some of these walkers. The plan's going off really well. And they're tossing them down in a ravine or down in the riverbed.
Damian Bashir shows up and says, I hear you have a bridge where murder is happening.
Something almost as ridiculous happens.
Then he gets canceled and thrown off the bridge.
Sasha goes crazy. She almost kills everyone in the group with her sword. Like, directly. She almost directly kills 3 people.
Can we not let them just have a clever zombie killing plan?
No.
can they not formulate something that like, oh, I see what they're going to do here. This was actually pretty smart and it's working exactly as intended. And then
It did, yeah.
like, why did Sasha do this?
Sasha, I kind of get it. I mean, if you're hungry, you're thirsty, you've been walking for miles and miles and miles, the world has just been shitting all over you. You just lost your brother. I could see why you might crack in a moment, you know? I could see where you would kind of lose it for a second, and we've seen other characters do that. We've seen Rick go full on crazy for a while.
We've seen too many characters do this.
Okay, that's fair.
And I saw her older brother do this 2 seasons ago.
Yeah. The world is just shitting on them, and some people can't take it. Apparently everyone in this world can't take it.
But it's like...
Daryl can, that's it.
So if that's a natural reaction, other natural reaction would be for the other groups, the members to turn on them, because that's just not cool. I mean, she, in a space of 30 seconds, almost guts Michonne. Yep. Her actions directly led to Rick almost getting bit, and if it hadn't been for Daryl's miraculous timing of stopping the walker, Rick would have gotten bit.
Yeah.
And she sliced... I thought I might have misread this, but she actually cuts Abraham with a zombie blood-soaked blade, which I don't think anything is going to come of, which is another head-scratcher to me. And they're treating her as if she is on a reality show acting out. Like, this is, you know, America's Top Model, and she's not had her Rice Krispie treat for today, and she's going on a rager. And, you know... I want to see, like, you are putting us all at fucking risk. Yeah.
I've come up with a new term for devil's advocate.
Okay.
The internet advocate.
The internet.
I think that the internet right now would be screaming, isn't it cool to see the world one by one break these people in a very similar way?
But again,
doesn't that say a lot about the situation they're dealing with?
But if that happens, and what does that do to the group dynamic? In this world, it doesn't do anything. Everyone can just freak out, and it doesn't really have any larger impact on, you know, like Rick after he hulks out and almost threatens Glenn. He comes out of the tombs and washes his face, and everybody, all is forgiven. Nobody has to deal with any stink eye. Nobody has to deal with any shit. I don't know. Like, I just, it's annoying to me. It's hard for me to watch people put other people at risk for no other reason than pure selfish giving in to their emotions.
Okay. All right.
That's all I'm saying.
Sounds good. Plane just got dicked. That's all I'm saying.
The plan got
That's
dicked.
one of my favorite lines in the episode.
Plane got dicked.
Plane got dicked. Abraham has quite a way with words.
He does.
They continue walking. They find a couple of cars. Daryl says, hey, I'm going to circle around through the woods. Maggie goes in to inspect the cars.
Yeah, fuck
all
you.
By herself.
You can do as much circle as you want. I'm
not waiting for that shit. I'm going in.
Really weird. I was like, okay, yeah, circling around. This could be a trap. Very smart.
Yep.
But the plot rolls on. The plot doesn't give a shit about Daryl having a clever thought. It's just, no, go ahead on in. Yeah. Alone, apparently.
Yeah, I love how the episode before Rick is talking about why they can't stay in a place and all the tactics involved in that. And now they're just... Daryl's going to go around with good tactics. Maggie doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, you know, the way it's shot, it's like they're all together. Daryl's going to circle around, then Maggie's up here at the cars, and no one's in the next county.
Yeah.
Until she shuts the door, opens the door, and then almost whips out her gun, and then Glenn's there to stop her in the nick of time. But, like, that's really odd. Like,
It's weirdly shot, yeah.
We got someone that's more of a cinemaphile than me in the feedback, kind of talking about the difference between last episode and this episode favorably. Mm-hmm. But to me, this was full of a lot of things that were shot where I felt like I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know who was in the scene, how much, like, it felt like a weird jump. Daryl walks off, says he's going to scout it out, and immediately Maggie's at the trunk.
Yeah.
I felt lost as a viewer.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. So she finds a walker tied up in the trunk here. She shuts it in and then thinks better of it, says, I'm going to go back and kill it.
Which, if Maggie had been able to shoot that lock and drawn more walkers...
Oh, my God.
I don't know what I would have done.
I was yelling at my TV, do not shoot that lock. Do not shoot that lock.
No,
that is so dumb.
You can see our live reaction. We were both like, thank God for Glenn. But, like, God damn it.
Yeah, so instead Glenn goes in and kills it for her. Maggie is losing hope at this point. She sees that walker. What do you think is going through her head when she sees this walker?
What's going through her head when she sees this walker? The first thing I thought is this is a rough Beth analog.
Okay.
It's kind of
maybe Beth being tied up perhaps in the trunk of that cross car.
Kind of, but more as like this is a tow-headed, kind of similar in broad strokes dress and maybe even the same age, although it's hard to tell.
Very hard to tell.
And this is what happens to young girls in this world. It's what happens to young girls in our world. More times than we care to admit. But I felt like it's just a reminder of Beth, and they're trying to do this thing where Maggie's first reaction was to ignore it, and they're trying to make a parallel to how this is kind of the bridge to the next sequence so she can talk about and try to make us all good with her feelings about Beth, which I don't think worked.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. Like, I could see this working in a world where they had done any kind of work, which this is something Sepinwall said in his review too. All this would have worked much better if we had gotten a hint of this motivation in any of the episodes between season 4 and now.
Yeah.
Like, all we needed is one scene where people, when she meets up with Glenn, he's like, now we just need to find your sister. I'm not even going to worry about it. She's dead. There's no way.
Yeah, it's obvious retconning, and I hate that they're doing that. Like,
yes.
All it would have taken is, 15 seconds out of 2 episodes in the previous season.
Yes.
And we're good.
Yes.
And it's obvious that they just didn't think of that. That now they're trying to fill in the gaps and hope that people will forgive them for it. And
right. But
it's hard to.
To me, it's like you drop the ball, you just need to move on.
Do you think it's better that they address it now?
No.
Than if they had never mentioned it at all?
No, I think it's when you fuck up that bad, you either have to come up with something that is going to redeem it. Like, maybe they could have come up with something that would have made this all made sense in retrospect. I don't know, but unless you have something surefire like that, I think the best thing to do is just move on.
Mm-hmm.
Just pretend like it didn't happen and give us something, because what you're doing is you are burning screen time on something that we could care about, on something we don't care about, and we've all collectively decided is horseshit, and we've moved on. But you're still taking these minutes, you're making us watch this, and we're getting madder and madder at being sold this bill of goods when you could be doing something else.
So this needs to be it. This needs to be the last time they ever mention Beth.
I don't know.
In the context of Maggie being sad,
because this episode does feel like maybe this is the rainbow at the end of the storm, and maybe that Maggie, Sasha, and Daryl could all move on. Daryl they set up like appropriately, but weirdly, most of the grief has been dealing with Maggie. Like, she had the big showy. I mean, I guess he's
not that kind of guy,
and he carried her out, so maybe that was a thing. But I could see Daryl dealing with this and all that, and because they've set up that groundwork and that relationship they had, and we're guilty of the same thing. We're belaboring this point.
All right,
it's bullshit.
Fair enough.
I'm not addressing it anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I've said my piece on Beth and Maggie.
Do you think that this show is so? I feel at the very end of this, that with Aaron showing up and with this big miracle that happens to save them from the walkers outside the barn, that the show is setting me up for another punch in the gut. Because they've done it before. They've done it many times. They've done it with the prison. They've done it with the farm. They've done it with Terminus. They've done it over and over. It seems to be the MO of the show.
It's Charlie Brown in football.
We think this place is safe. We think we're going to get to stay here. And then they get kicked in the dick over and over and over again. And I feel like that's what they're doing again with Aaron. Like, I don't know what he's promising. I don't know anything about this guy. But that rainbow at the end of this episode feels very much like a false flag.
Sure. And I think you're completely right to feel that way. And, I don't know what else to say about it, because I think that's exactly how we should feel.
Okay.
That
the show has taught us to feel
that the stranger danger is a real thing, and you can only trust those. Like, there's a procedure. Like, Rick needs to In the prison, they'd isolate the people and they'd ask them the three holy questions, and then they would either be trusted or not. They'd have to earn that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna, and if anything, they're with this declaration of them being the Walking Dead. I think they're even more hardened to that strategy.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see how they evolve the show from here. Whether they'll ever make a change that, when can you start to rebuild society? When can you start to trust people again? How do you trust people?
Yeah. No, those are interesting themes, certainly. Okay, Daryl finds a half-eaten deer and a dead walker by a tree.
Did you use a walker? Because I noticed his guy's face eaten off. And
well, yeah, maybe he never turned into a walker.
When I saw the half-eaten deer and the face eaten off, I immediately started thinking, "Oh, wolves! Like this is something that a pack of dogs would do." And I started getting excited, like, "Oh, we're going to get something besides walkers chasing them and hunting them now."
And then we kind of do, but
we
for
do.
like a second and a half, Daryl rejoins the group. He's followed by a couple of dogs or a pack of dogs, and Sasha just kills him. And now they have some food.
Daryl should stop carrying bacon around in his pocket. Number
all
one.
that squirrel jerky. They're after that.
He's been holding out.
Yeah. Do you think that this was, we saw it scrawled on the bricks in the previous episode, wolves not far. Do you think these were the wolves they're talking about, or do you think the wolves might be a pack of humans?
I feel like it's probably more the pack of humans.
Okay.
But especially now that I've seen the wolves, that these things are just
quote unquote wolves.
These wolves are almost like manna from heaven. This was almost a divine, miraculous thing that they were starving, and the Lord provided unto them the canine banquet that they feasted on. Mm-hmm. They were thirsting, and the Lord opened up the heavens so that they could drink. I mean, this is very Moses and Aaron striking their staff on a rock and drawing forth water out of it. And that's kind of cool, honestly. The Walking Dead with like a capital G God taking an active part of it for some mysterious reason is kind of almost a weird Lost X-Files curve that I could groove on.
All right, and they've kind of hinted at it before.
I don't mind at all, especially if it's in conjunction with Gabriel, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm open to this. I think that this is a little ham-fisted in the way they're doing it. At least it'd be kind of like, if it wasn't for the tornado, the zombie tornado at the end, this is the kind of thing where you could talk about, like, oh, this was God providing. This is something like straight out of the Israelites wandering in the desert.
Yeah.
It's a motif that's not hit too squarely on the head. When they add the tornado at the end, it's a little much for me.
It wasn't too much for me. It was just the way it was shot and edited.
Yes,
that made it feel very strange. It didn't make me feel like I was confident that this was a miracle. It made me feel like I was surprised that it was not a dream.
Plus, once again, it features some inexplicable behavior on the part of our survivors.
Yeah,
to work.
Yeah,
like. It's like, just think a little bit harder on these set pieces, man. Think again. It's just like, how did Noah get underneath the patio furniture menaced by two walkers? What sequence of events happened? What sequence of events? We're not at the scene yet, but fuck it. Yeah. What sequence of events leads our survivors to come to be menaced by these walkers in the middle of the night and have this life and death struggle and the howling wind, the pouring rain, and then we cut to daylight where they're all asleep. And they walk out the barn, and they're just gobsmacked by what they look at. The walkers dead by the storm. How do you get from that point A to point B?
It's an uncanny series of events. And if it were me, and suddenly the walkers are not pushing on the door, I would go, "What just happened out there? I want to take a peek out.
I gotta take a peek out to see what's going on, so I can know I can sleep again without having these flesh-rending zombies on my ass." But there's no way to get from that point A to point B that doesn't explain. I guess a ton, like a bunch of LSD in the water would explain that kind of behavior.
Yes, God made LSD rain.
Yeah,
literal acid rain.
The bar got struck by lightning, and everyone just got zapped and knocked unconscious for a couple hours. But
the other option, and I'm going to play the internet advocate here, is that Daryl stayed up on guard, because Daryl is awake in the morning. and says I should get some sleep.
So the winds howl,
Uh-huh.
and everybody's like, and the barn door stops shuddering,
Uh-huh.
and Daryl announces to everyone, "It's cool. Go to sleep. I'm gonna stay on watch," and everyone goes to sleep.
He is a badass. He is a badass. I'm like, I would trust my life to Daryl, certainly. But you're right. The events that happened outside are so crazy that I would want to peek.
You'd have to.
I would have to. I couldn't
You'd have
sleep
to.
without knowing what the hell went on out there.
Yeah, something makes these zombies go away.
Yeah.
And you don't go out and investigate. Or
It's shocking.
if Daryl went out and investigated, or maybe 2 and 3, it's like, hey, this damnedest thing, trees fell over and killed all these zombies.
I would go, I want to see that.
Yeah, or you don't come out and express amazement at, hey, you know what? It's just like Daryl told us last night. Anyway.
Yeah, it's something with the editing and the way it
Yes.
just is disjointed and doesn't fit together that makes me not like it.
And they had the thing where, like, is this a dream? Oh, it can't be a dream. There's no way it's a dream.
And then you're like, they wake up the next morning.
I guess
it was a dream.
Just as you're getting on board, it's a dream. They go outside and it actually happened. And then you start thinking, okay, I'm trying to reconcile these two narratives, and it just doesn't work. It does not go together. It's a square peg and a round hole. And they are, between Julius Ramsey and Heather Belson, they're just banging that peg as hard as they can.
Sure.
And we're the ones losing out.
Yep. You know who else is losing out? Losing out on his faith in God. It's Gabriel. Gabriel eats the dog meat and says, fuck it. I'm out. This religion thing is not for me.
Cannibalism didn't do it. Watching multiple people get butchered in his own church didn't do it. His own fiduciary irresponsibility towards his flock doesn't do it. Eating dog meat.
It's over. It's over.
That's a bridge too far. You can't eat fucking dog food, and you sure as shit can't eat dog meat without losing your faith in God. You just snatch that collar off and burn it.
Yeah.
You burn it.
Yep.
You curse God and die if you have to eat dog meat.
Pretty much. Glenn and Maggie are talking about why she never cared about Beth. Maggie gives some half-assed excuse about, hoping she's alive or thinking maybe she was alive out there, and then cries about her death again. She also doesn't know if she's able to continue living in this world.
And I'm like, fine, die. Take Glenn with you. I will say that they are really hamming up the Walking Dead aspect. Like, if you look at how Sasha's walking, she's got the wobbly head, and they got the, kind of like staggering gait.
One shoulder in front of them.
And they're walking in front of this, before the serious walkers. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Thought it was awesome.
That's part of the thing that actually works.
Abraham then comes up and offers Sasha some booze, and she says, it'll make things worse. And he says, you will make things worse if you continue your behavior. She says, we're not friends. Like, this whole exchange is just brutal. And Abraham's just...
He's like, all right, taking a drink.
Okay.
Maybe he's got a deal.
He's like, that's good to know.
It's the Walking Dead drinking game. Anything illogical happens on the show, you take a drink. And he's just playing along.
Yeah, no, I like Abraham's reaction here. What are you going to say to that?
What has she got against Abraham?
I don't know.
Plus, Abraham's like, this cut that I've got in the shoulder that you're looking at right now that's probably infested with zombie guts, and I could turn. Fuck you if we're not friends.
I'm coming after you first.
Yeah, if we're not friends, then I'll just punch you in the face right now.
Yeah. Daryl finds a barn. He sits down for a smoke outside, and he puts a cigarette out on his hand, and then he cries.
Yeah.
Not about the cigarette stuff, but about some emotional Daryl shit.
I don't think that's how. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a self-harmer, but I felt like that's. You do the self-harming to keep from you do the physical pain to distract from emotional pain, right? You're doing it wrong if you have yourself a nice long cry after you burn yourself a cigarette. But again, I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's true.
Probably borderline offensive what I'm saying.
And maybe he was trying it. It didn't work, and so he broke down crying. It just wasn't enough to ease the emotional pain that he was feeling, or to gloss over it.
There you go.
I can buy that. Also,
I noticed that his pants are tied off.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know what purpose that serves from woodcraft. Is that to keep like bugs from crawling up his legs? Is that to keep poison ivy out? Is that if so, why is no one else doing it?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, it's like this is the kind of thing. Maybe he's like every night. I'm telling you guys, you need to tie your pant legs to your boots. You won't get the Eugene. You're wearing shorts for Christ's sake. Find some fucking jeans.
Your boots bullshit.
Stop by this Walmart. They got Husky Boy sizes. Millions of jeans in this country, and there's only 1,000 asses to put them in. You can get some fucking jeans, Eugene. Your name's got Gene in it. Wear some goddamn denim. Fuck. That's what he says.
Every night.
Every night.
It's getting
this
a bit
much.
much.
As Eugene just rocks and sucks his thumb as he's just Daryl's in his face screaming.
The first few nights he was like, he tried to explain it. He was like, well, for combat, I really don't think the jeans are the appropriate attire. And
that's right.
I
need crotch room and freedom of movement to pull off my first person shooter moves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Christ!
Now 2 years in, he's done with it. Anyway, Daryl comes back to the road. He's found the group, and they found water. And Eugene tries to drink it, but Abraham slaps it out of his hand.
So it's cool. Number one, I don't know. I kind of thought it was. I kind of excited. It's like let Eugene drink the water. Eugene is now useless.
Not anymore.
He can be the water taster for everybody. But Abraham smacks that out of his water, which is somehow like Abraham has definitively gotten over being upset with him. He's back in his protector role.
I guess so. Yeah.
Like you're a miserable fucker, but you're our miserable fucker, and you know we're all friends, kind of, sort of.
Just wait until Eugene says you're not my friend, and then it's all over.
I like Eugene go for it and just mumble something about quality assurance, like like he's full. It's like I don't care. It could be poison. Let me taste it for you.
Yeah. And then it starts raining, and everybody in the group rejoices, except for Sasha, Maggie, and Daryl, who are still dealing with stuff. The storm moves in, and the group moves into the barn where Daryl found.
Which must be said you were incredulous of.
Yeah.
During the open, you're like, why do you need shelter during a storm? And I'm just sitting there like, I can't believe my partner is saying this.
Shelter during a storm? Like...
hypothermia.
The only thing I could see is those trees, the falling trees.
Hypothermia. High winds, lightning. Yes.
Hypothermia. How cold do you think it is? Daryl's rolling around in a sleeveless shirt.
Do you realize that you are running 98.6 right now in room temperature with a cold rain? You can die within a matter of hours exposed to elements.
I didn't realize that. That sounds fictional to me.
God, you're going to be the Eugene in our group.
You're
going to be Eugene in our group. You're going to be wearing shorts. You're going to be standing out in the rain with no sense to get out of it.
Yeah, if we go full hobo mode, I'm going to be dead in a week. I'm dead in a week.
Well, I got the Denon speech down to give you if it comes to that.
Yeah, says the guy in a sleeveless shirt. Maggie kills Walker that they find in the barn, and Carol notes that she had a gun, could have killed herself, but didn't because she couldn't give up, just like them.
Sure.
Thought that was a fairly good line.
The chicken lip zombie.
Yeah. Looking in bad shape there.
Abraham is really babysitting that pint of whiskey.
You're right. They start a fire and he's just back there sipping it.
He's been pulling on it all day long. He's like making it last.
Yep. Probably smart. Who knows the next time they're going to come up on a bottle of anything.
Sure.
Rick delivers a speech about his father and how...
There's a stack of Bibles in this barn, which, the more I think about it, the more they're making some obvious religious allusions here. Oh, yeah. And I don't, again, I'm not sure what we're supposed to take away from this, what this is supposed to mean to Gabriel, what's it means to people like Maggie in the larger group. Mm-hmm.
I think the Moses one is pretty good for Rick.
But there's also a little bit of the flood. There's also a little bit of Noah surviving the flood and coming out in the rainbow and the covenant that God made. Seems
like there's maybe also a little bit of Job in there with Gabriel being tested over and over. Mm-hmm. And that's a theme we've seen before for Gabriel.
Sure.
It seems like there's an amalgamation of Bible themes here that they're just.
If they rewrote the Job story, there was a windstorm that Job hid in his house. And he locked his family out, and they all died in the windstorm.
Sure.
And then he got himself cut with a walker-infected blade and got a disease, and it's basically all brought on by himself instead of afflicted by God. But whatever,
So Rick delivers a speech about his father, and how you basically have to do what you need to do and then you get to live, which I thought seemed right on for this world. Rick has really come around for me as being one of the most with his shit together characters. You know, he's gone the full gamut. He's been crazy for a while, and now he realizes what it takes to survive in this world, and he's doing all the right things.
Yeah. No,
I like his journey.
He's been every kind of man you can be. He's been the police officer. He's been the madman. He's been the farmer.
He's been the Nazi father's son.
Yes, his grandfather, who we've conclusively established was a Nazi hiding out in Argentina. All that rich backstory has finally paid off, and you're right. He's integrated the best parts of Shane, Herschel, and Rick. Bob, yeah, like he is sent. Like I feel I like this arc, and they're doing this part well, where Rick is being shaped by events and circumstances into being the leader humanity needs.
Yeah,
he's being shaped to be. He's like the John Connor of the zombie apocalypse. He's the leader humanity needs, and that's been something that they've done really, really well over the seasons.
I agree. But nobody agrees with Rick here, least of all Daryl. Daryl's like, we ain't them. And then the walkers try to bust down the doors as they're all just sitting around. They one by one, the group moves to stop that.
That's so stupid.
Literally fighting to stay alive here. So, you know, making callbacks to the episode.
Like, it's, I guess, excusable because Daryl's at the door and it happens to him before he has a moment to reflect. But Sasha can't, like, everybody were being run over by walkers on our way to run into the door. Everyone has to slowly realize what's happening.
Maggie, then Sasha, then Rick. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Goddamn Judith just laying in the dirt screaming. She can't help. Come on.
Use her as a doorstop. Just
wedge her in
her.
there.
Yep.
Wedge her in there.
Maggie wakes up the next morning, finds Daryl wide awake, and he tells her that Beth was strong. He hands her the music box which he has fixed. I gotta say, when they walk out here and they see all these walkers impaled by trees, Zombie Kill of the Week goes to God. Like, it has to, right?
To Jehovah of Armies.
It has to.
He got the bow out and flexed his might once again. Yeah,
good stuff. Then they all sit down to talk with some renewed faith. Maggie tells Sasha that they're going to make it. So I kind of skipped through a lot of stuff here. Maggie sits down with Daryl for a second and talks with him.
Mm-hmm.
Just, about
Tyrese
Beth
being tough, which he wasn't.
Like, she's trying to comfort him about Beth, but it ends up like he's comforting her.
Like Beth, that's what was ironic is I don't think Tyrese is tough in the way that if you look it up in a dictionary and it says like he wasn't resilient. He did have a core decent sense of humanity, but he wasn't tough in the way I think of it. Beth was, but Daryl didn't get to see all that. Like, she did emerge a tough customer from the Slabtown thing, and she, that was a really good evolution of her character. And then she died. He didn't get to see that. I think he was right about her. He was wrong about Tyrese. I'm struggling with the point, but I thought it was interesting the juxtaposition of them kind of paying. It felt like paying lip service to Tyrese, and kind of whitewashing that whole thing. Poor choice of words there for Chad. But
they almost like
with Beth, like she genuinely was tough. I liked where she was going.
I agree with that. Yeah, at the end, she understood what it would take to. She was tough in a way that got her killed. Certainly, and
Tyrese was weak in a way that got him killed.
Yes. He was not flexible enough for this world. Beth made the choice to go out.
Yeah,
Beth knew what was going to happen to her and said, it's better for me to go out here and take this horrible person with me.
You know what? Then that's the thing. Like, Rick has made that decision multiple times, and just by the roll of the dice, he survived. Like when he pulled the gun on Nebraska. Many times has he's made the decision that no, fuck you, this is our stand. He just was able to survive.
Yeah.
Beth, the first time she tried to pull that, unfortunately,